everyone, it's Kamila. I hope you're all having a great day. If you're new here on the channel, you mostly do speed builds, and today we are doing a pretty special one because it's for a collab and also because it's been a pretty long time since I uploaded on YouTube. For some people it might have been pretty short, but for me it's been pretty long in my mind because usually I would post 1 or 2 speed builds every week. So it was a bit weird to take a break, but it was needed. Now I feel a lot better. I don't know when I will be officially back though, because this build needed to be out today since it's for a collab. It was very important for me, but I don't know for my next videos. I just wanted to point that out at the beginning of the video. But yeah, I got invited to participate in a collab called the French Simmers collab by Elysandrea Sims. And I was super happy that she thought of me because, you know, my content is in English, but my first language is French. I'm actually French Canadian. I know most simmers in the collab are from France or from Europe, so I'm a bit like on the other side of the globe, but it's always nice to talk with people that have the same language as you. I'm not really used to that anymore online, and even if I like English, it's always better in my opinion when you talk in your first language to people because you can express yourself a little bit better. It's more easy, and personally I feel like I can be a little bit more myself when I'm speaking French. But yeah, so the goal of the collab was to do a build that was kind of in link with where we live. So for me it would be close to Montreal in Canada, and we had to choose either kind of an architectural style that is from where we live, or maybe a specific building. It could be a lot of different things. There was a lot of options, but since I wasn't really sure if there was an actual architectural style that was attached to Montreal, I didn't really want to risk myself, and I just felt like it would be better if I did a specific build. So that's what I did. But before talking about that, I just want to say that I will put all the links in the description. The girl that invited me, she has an Instagram and also a YouTube channel, but I will put all her links there, and same for the other people that participated. I think most of them are doing content in French, so if you don't understand French, maybe you will just like seeing their builds because they're very talented, and maybe you won't understand what they're saying, but I know some of them are doing content in both languages, so I think it's worth that you check it out, and I think they would really appreciate it. So give them some love, they really deserve it. They have beautiful creations, and yeah. So the build that I decided to make was something inspired by the Habitat 67. If you don't know what it was a very big apartment complex that was built in the 19 something. I don't really know which year exactly. I don't know all the story behind this building, but I know that it was like planned for a thesis at a university, and I'm not sure if it was planned specifically for the Expo 67, but they decided to build it for this expo, which is a World's Fair that lasts 6 months. It lasted from April to October in 1967, and it was attended by 50 million people, so that's a lot of people, and it's a very special building. It's actually a lot of different blocks. I will put some inspiration pictures on the screen. By the way, I never saw it in real life. I'm not going in Montreal or to Montreal very often, but I saw a lot of pictures on Pinterest, and it's actually where I got the idea to do this building. So yeah, I will put those pictures on the screen so you'll be able to have the reference. It's a very large building, very high too. I think it has 12 stories, which is way more than we can do in The Sims. The limit is 4, so of course my building is a bit different. It's only inspired from it. I decided to go pretty much where I wanted, and I'm very happy with how it came out, even if it's pretty different than in real life. I also wanted to say that the Habitat 67, which is the build that I'm talking about, was qualified as a fantastic experiment and an architectural wonder. So I felt like it was a great challenge for me. And I also wrote some other infos, I think. I think at the moment there are 146 apartments in this complex. So it's very huge. It's way more than I could include, of course, in this build. In the build, we have 3 apartments that are for 3 different families. I didn't really want to make more because anywhere there is a limit of Sims that you can have in one single household, and I know a lot of people don't necessarily have a mod that allows them to have more. And even if I only did 3 apartments, there are a lot of beds, so if you have the mod, you will be able to have more than 8 Sims in this apartment complex, which is great in my opinion. At first I thought maybe it could be nice to do this build on a 64 by 64, but I preferred the shape of a 50 by 40, so that's what I went for in the end. It could have been larger on a 64 by 64, but as I said, I preferred to do not too many apartments and to have just a bunch of them so it would work in the game and you could play with it. Also, the lot is placed in Del Sol Valley. It's definitely not the world that is the most similar to where I live. We don't really have palm trees here or anything like it, so it's a bit different, but there aren't a lot of 50 by 40s in the game. I think there's one in Newcrest and there are 2 in Del Sol Valley, but other than that, I didn't find any other lots that were the same size. So that's the one I decided to go for because I liked how it looked, but it's not necessarily the one that was fitting the aesthetic of my country, I would say. But of course you can place the build wherever you want, so I felt like it wasn't really a problem. I just felt like it was better if I went with a lot that had a good lighting for the speed build, and I didn't really like the one that we had in Newcrest. So that's the explanation behind my little decision regarding the lot that I decided to go for. And I also wanted to talk about the color of the build. So you probably saw that just before going onto the interior, the build was kind of orange yellow, but I decided to change it off cam and now it's gray like in real life. So the first floor is in a pretty dark gray and all the other floors are in a more pale gray. So there is only 2 colors, which is not something that I would do usually for a big build like that, but I felt like it was the best alternative and I felt like it looked great in the game and it was more representative of the real building in real life. So that's what I decided to do. You're not seeing me changing the colors, but you will see what it looks like at the end when I will do kind of the backyard or the back of the build. Also, there's a lot of greenery. In real life, there are trees that are growing on the Habitat 67, so I decided to include some, and I feel like it adds a lot to the build. Without them, it wouldn't be the same at all. And by the way, if you have eco lifestyle, you're in luck because it's the build or the pack, that I used the most for this build. It was just a perfect pack in my opinion, and I didn't really think about it, but now that I do, I feel like I used a lot of this pack compared to the other ones. And I just want to say that I caught a lot of things in this speed build, or there are some things that I didn't even record. So the color scheme outside, as I said, also the floor plan that took me way too much time to include it in the speed build. I didn't include the part where I was choosing the wallpapers and the floorings. And since there are 3 apartments, I only decided to include 2 in the speed build. So we have the one at the right that is included and the one at the left. The middle one isn't included and I didn't record it, and I was a bit sad because it's actually my favorite in the end, but I will put some screenshots and you will be able to see what it looks like. They're all pretty different, but they're all also modern. So they all have the same style, but not the same color scheme. And since it's a pretty complex building, I really wanted to make it clear which box or block was with which one. You will have the same flooring for one single apartment. So even if you have 3 different floors for one apartment, it will always have the same flooring and you will be able to understand which box is with which one, as I said. So the first apartment that is at the right has a very pale wood, and I will change it because right now all the rooms don't have the same one, but don't worry about that. And the middle one has a darker beige, I would say, for the flooring, and for the left one we have a white one. So every apartment is a bit different, and I think that because of that you won't be too confused, and it's kind of the goal. You probably saw at the beginning of the interior that I did some common areas for all the residents of the complex. I don't know if there is that in real life, I don't think so, or I didn't read about it, but I felt like it was a good idea. So we have a big reception with some seating areas. I feel like it's pretty simple, but it still looks really great. We have a laundry room because there aren't any laundry rooms in the apartments. We have some public bathrooms, some lockers for the gym. We also have a pool and some showers, and I also included a little nursery. I felt like it was a good idea, even if it's not actually the most playable thing. It's just for our imagination. So you can imagine that your Sims are leaving their little ones with a nurse probably in this room. So in real life there would probably be some staff like a security guard and a nurse, as I said. That's kind of what I had in mind for the common area that everyone can go to. And now the apartment we're doing, which is the first one and the one at the right, is for a couple. It has a white and beige color scheme with some yellow. The first floor, they have their living room, dining area, kitchen, and for the second floor, they have an office and a bathroom. And when you climb up a ladder, you have their bedroom. So that's it for the first apartment for a couple. The second one, which we aren't furnishing on cam, has a beige and white color scheme too, but with some blue this time, so it's still a bit different. On the first floor, they have a very small entry with a small bathroom. So it's a pretty small first floor, and when you climb up the stairs, you have a pretty big second floor with the living area, the parents' bedroom, and their office. And the third floor has a hallway that leads to a bathroom and a bedroom for 2 kids because I decided to use the bunk beds. And there's also a separated little room that you need to go outside to reach, so it's a bit weird, but the build just looked better if I included this little separated box, so I decided to keep it. So yeah, the second apartment has room for 5 Sims, and the apartment we're doing right now is in a totally different color scheme this time. We have black and white and a lot of purple. So I will just explain a little this apartment too. For the first floor, we have the living area, as you saw. It's a pretty small one, but I feel like it works. We have a small bathroom that I didn't furnish on cam because it wasn't super interesting, I would say. And we have a bedroom for the parents, and we have the kids' bedroom that has another bunk bed. So this apartment can have 4 Sims, 2 kids and 2 parents, and it has 2 bedrooms. When you climb up the stairs, you reach the second floor, and it has a gym for the parents and a master bathroom. So basically, maybe some of you will think it's a little weird, but I really liked the idea The parents have kind of 3 floors to them. They have a whole area of the apartment to them alone. So if you are in their bedroom, you can climb up the stairs and you will arrive in the gym and you will have the master bathroom. And if you climb up again, you will have their office. So it's kind of a whole area to them only, which is probably very good for them, I guess. And yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say for the details around all the apartments. I didn't really think of personalities for the Sims. I didn't feel like it was necessary. So there aren't any skills objects apart from the gym. I still included a lot of details in my opinion. For 3 apartments, it's pretty good. Even if they don't have an established personality, all the rooms, or bedrooms I should say, are pretty different. Everyone has a computer and it looks pretty lived in my opinion. So I hope you will like the result. And behind the build, there isn't anything that is very interesting in my opinion. I put some nice landscaping and some pretty cool platforms. I hope you will like them. You will see them pretty soon. But other than the fountains, platforms, and benches, there isn't anything very interesting. And I think I included something for the kids, but other than that, it's pretty simple. And of course, I included some dining tables, barbecues, seating areas outside on the multiple balconies that there is in this build. I also wanted to mention that if you want to download this build and play with it with 3 different families, you can lock the doors in a specific way and the other families won't go in the apartments of the others, if that makes sense. So that's a possibility. I don't think it would be perfect, but it could work if you want to do that. I know it's not 100% optimal, but I wish we had an option that was more precise in the game. But yeah, that's not the case, unfortunately. But the speed build is going to end pretty soon, so I just want to remind you to check out everyone's links, especially if you can speak French. Even if you don't, as I said, some people in the collab are speaking English too, and they have very good content. So I hope you will take the time to check this out. There will also be a playlist with everyone's videos. I'm not sure everyone has a speed build or stop motion or a tour video or anything, but I'm pretty sure everyone will have an Instagram post. So if you want to see everyone's builds, you can just head on to Instagram and write the hashtag French Simmers Collab like in the title of my video, and you will be able to see everyone's work, and I'm sure you will be very impressed. I saw a lot of different kind of work in progress screenshots, and I was very impressed with what they did. They're super talented and creative, so I'm sure you will like what they did. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say for today. So I hope you will enjoy the screenshots and the rest of the video. And if you enjoyed the build and the speed build, please leave a like and don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on social medias. All the links will be down in the description. And of course, you will be able to download this build on the gallery. My ID is KamilaYtb. So thank you so much for watching, and I wish to you all an amazing day. Bye!